Hey everyone, this is Matt here, and look at here, it's Draki. Where have you been? Oh, you want to talk about the potential future banners? Alright, let's do so. Alright, our first unit is Juliante. She is a beast and classified as an attacker, but really her best skill in my mind is actually a huge buff. Uh, she has incredibly high agility, and her leadership skill uses that to great effect. It greatly increases the speed of start of battle for 2 turns. It is a very powerful skill as it allows you to attack first, but it doesn't last unlike most of the other leadership skills, so it is very unique in that regards. Um, the first skill called Fireworks. Once again, this is me translating from Japan. The Dragon Quest team usually has very unique ways of changing skill names, so these won't translate perfectly. But Fireworks is a range skill of 1 to 2, inflicts 95% bang physical power damage twice on one enemy. It's actually pretty powerful. And bang, which we don't have. Um, so that is the first one. The second skill is fire. Fire is a attack power of all within range for 3 turns. This is her big buff. This is very unique to her. This is what you're going to use to increase your attack to allow you to get the 500 damage skills and 999 damage skills you need for your mini medals. The third skill is Dragon Swing or Summer Dragon Dance. It kind of is hard to translate this one. Range of 3, 240% bang physical damage to all enemies within range. Also gives you a stun skill. So it is a pretty nice skill, and if you get lucky or if they're really weak to stun, you can get a stun. Um, the first dupe that you get with this unit, zap attributes, and also bang attributes and reduce MP for bang. Frizz resistance plus 25 is the second dupe. Fourth dupe is Zam resistance. Third and fifth dupes are Summer Dragon Dance Power or Dragon Swing plus 5%. The first new units and units that my goo, are super excited for is the Queen Slime. It is a very unique unit in this game. It is obviously a slime, and this is going to be another new event where it's a slime based event for Dragon Quest Tactics. This is it says a debuffer, but really what this unit is a draw tank. This tank itself is has 2 skills that draw units towards it, and then it has one large attack skill that will do martial damage all around it. Now, the first skill here, or sorry, the leadership is not a very good leadership skill, and unfortunately, and I know Goose, I know that you guys are very sad about this, but it increases slime based martial power by 20%. It's really only good if you're trying to use Queen Slime as your damage dealer. Queen Slime is not known for damage. Queen Slime has a very high HP pool, which brings it more for its draw tank. Its first skill, Hikiyose, is a range of 3, has MP consumption of 25, inflicts martial damage, and then sends the unit or draws the unit 2 squares to you. So it will draw it there and try to make the unit attack the Queen Slime instead of other skills or units that might be much more squishy, uh, and are more important to do attacking as well. You can also use this to draw golems off, units that you want to kill first, that golems try to protect. More useful in arena and boss battles that have a lot of mechanisms for protection, or might not move very far. And if you can have the Queen Slime take the hits, then you'll be in much better shape. Hyoga is the second skill, which is its main attack skill. It inflicts crackle type martial damage to all enemies within range, which is right around itself. So if it's surrounded by enemies, it can do lots of damage. Now remember, all three of these skills are martial damage skills. Martial damage is based off of your level and nothing else. So you're going to be building this unit with HP and defense in mind and nothing else. The other one is Koketsu no Kosari. It's not really translatable for English. It is range of 3. It causes large martial damage to all enemies and draws the enemies by 1 square towards you. So it's not as strong as Hikiyose, but still it will do an AoE and draw all 3 spots towards you and more likely have them attack you. This is a unit not for damage, not for healing, not for buffing. It's to move enemies towards the Queen Slime to act as a tank and a sponge. So just to let you know, this is a very unique unit. So you can potentially expect to see the Queen Slime very soon. The first dupe gives you the occasional MP recovery. Second dupe is bang resistance plus 25. Fourth dupe is zap resistance 25. 30 and 50 is Koketsu no Kosari power plus 5. Overall, it's a very unique unit, very high HP, good defense, uses itself as a draw tank. The next unit are their heroes, God Rider. God Rider currently is the highest attack unit in JP, or natural attack unit, I should say. Its leadership effect reduces the defense of enemies by 20% by a 5x5 square. It's very interesting, but this unit is great for doing damage. Skill name first is Slash. Its range of 2 inflicts 175% damage on all enemies. Occasionally and rarely lowers defense as well. So if you get lucky, you'll also lower defense. So God Rider, if you're using a primary physical team, and if you want to use a physical team, this guy is meta for you with the ability to lower defense and how hard he hits. The next one is Thunder Lightsword. Does 55 zap damage randomly to four times to enemies within the range. Third one is Wind God Meta Slash. Inflict 70% power on one enemy 4 times, so that's a total of 280%. And occasionally, on top of that, will lower defense, and it only costs 52. With the amount of, with how high of an attack that this slime has, obviously this is along the same lines as the Queen Slime. And this is definitely a pure attack unit and well-designed pure attack unit as well. Why do I say that? If you get a dupe of God Rider, it changes his move from 2 to 3, which makes him uber powerful. And so your goal is to get 2 God Riders. And that's what's going to make physical teams roll with the God Rider. It's not the highest agility, but it's good enough agility, especially with its attack. Second one is Crackle Resistance, 25%. Fourth dupe is Bang Resistance, and then the third and fifth is the Wind God Meta Slash Power plus 5%. And that 5% actually gets carried over quite a bit as well. This is going to be one of the few units that I'll think about if I'm going to go for. I might try and go for a dupe. Then we go into kind of a last hurrah for a while for spell units. And there will be a banner with Zoma, and the next unit is going to be Baramos. They are going to be both the question mark, aka the hero or the anti-hero, the foe type force. Zoma is magic. Leadership effect increases strength of spells in a 5x5 square, including Zoma by 20%. Breath of Ice magic. So Zoma has a very high MP pool, but his skills just destroys his MP pool. Interesting, his first skill is a breath damage to all enemies within range skill, Crackle. Occasionally will stun, and breath damage is based off of level. It's not doesn't depend on your wisdom or magic score. This has got an ice. Psycho Cannon is huge, huge with MP with 108, but causes a huge magic damage to one enemy. Has no element, so it will always do damage to enemies at the normal rate. Very, very good. Ruined Ice Block is the other one, 120. Heavy Crackle damage to all enemies. Has a range of 3. Crackle status. So Zoma is focused on Crackle. Obviously, if you get him, you're going to want to give him probably another very powerful spell. That's, I would say, a B scroll, somewhere in the 28 MP range, just to give him something that doesn't have as much MP consumption as everything else here. His big weakness is he comes out swinging hard, but just doesn't have an awful lot to back him up with the MP. His awakening skill is spell power increase and lowers the MP usage, which is very useful, but he doesn't have the occasional MP regen, which I think might have been better off for him. Second dupe is Frizz resistance, fourth dupe is Bang resistance. Third and fifth obviously are going to be the Ruined Ice Block power at 5%. And the last new unit that I'm going to go over today is Baramos. Same exact type. His leadership effect is by 15 instead of 20%. He is a little bit more interesting. His skills aren't quite as powerful, but uses a lot less MP consumption, and has and sorry, this is Bang. Bang damage here, where Necrogon Wave is the first one here. It's non-elemental, gives you a range of 2, inflicts 175% damage on all enemies within range, rarely lowers defense, 26 MP. Second one is Necro Inazun, randomly deals 55% bang damage to enemies with range 4 times, range of 1. And Compressed Ionizun is another bang, 70% power on one enemy 4 times and rarely lowers defense. All of these are very good, especially for the MP consumption used. The second skill is the random 4 times. The third skill is 280% bang total. But he just doesn't have as much power, but I still like it as well if you're having a magic one. But you'll see it in a little bit as well. His awakening skill, bang damage and MP down. Second and fourth is Zam resistance 25. Fourth one is wind resistance plus 25. So swoosh. compressed ionizon power +5 are the third and fifth one. The skipped unit is the red or dread dragon. We've already covered this. Here's some of the preferred learned skills that I showed. We might see him come up at some point in the future or in some random banner, or we may never see the dread dragon. For people who are depending on breath teams, the red dragon has a lot of breath attacks. I will say that if it is fully skipped, it will hurt breath teams and will make Great Dragon a lot less useful for the future. Otherwise, though, the Dread Dragon was a skip video. So, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I am going to try to do an update of this every month. Basically, I am using this with the knowledge that I have from the Japan version and just grabbing that and trying to reiterate. We've already learned that with the Dread Dragon, these schedules are obviously scheduled to change. With this future vision that a lot of these games have, as obviously this is coming from Japan, just beware. We only know what they did in Japan. They will change the schedule, so I'm just trying to give you as much information as possible to know what to pull on, especially for free-to-play players. This is a very important information. So travelers, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed what Draki told me to take a look into the future for you. And please, have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you around.